All right, folks. It is Sunday. I know y'all like, what? She going live on Sunday too? And I'm traveling. She up in her car right now. Yes, y'all, I am in my car. I am traveling, but I have pulled over so I can keep my word. And let me see. So I can keep my word. All right. And bring this message, right? So we are in day 5 of 365 days of Fear Not. Today's going to be a little bit different because generally I give the history, but today I want to focus on the result, right? After God said to fear not, after he told his people to fear not. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Deborah Wisdom, day 5 of 365 days of Fear Not. I am your companion on this journey, Radia Mallard, and today we are reading one of the most exciting stories, one of the most well-known stories, and I'm not even going to say stories, I'm going to say historical accounts, because we are reading one of the most well-known historical accounts of the Bible today, which is the parting of the Red Sea. But I'm just going to read it word for word, how it starts off, because if you are a believer and you know anything about this story, even if you're not a believer, because they have brought this story to theaters and things of that nature, so you know you're getting a mixture of things. But if you're a believer, this story, I am going to read it word for word so that we can see what the word of God says happened. Okay, so it starts off, we're in Exodus chapter 14. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel that they turn and encamp before Pihahiroth. I might mess these names up. Between Migdal and the sea, over against Baal-zephon, before it shall ye encamp by the sea. Right? So he's saying encamp by the sea in this area. For Pharaoh will say to the children of Israel, they are entangled in the land. The wilderness has shut them in. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, that he shall follow after them. And I will be honored upon Pharaoh and upon all his hosts, that the Egyptians may know that I am Yahweh, right? This says, I am the Lord in the Bible. We have had this discussion. You can look at my welcome video. LORD in all caps is Yahweh. And of course, the purpose of this channel is to make the name of Yahweh known throughout the earth. Okay, his name. And it was told, and they did so. So they did what God said. And it was told the king of Egypt that the people fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and his servants was turned against the people. And they said, why have we done this? Why have we let Israel go from serving us? And he made ready his chariot and took his people with him. And he took 600 chosen chariots and all the chariots of Egypt and captains over every one of them. And Yahweh hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued after the children of Israel. And the children of Israel went out with a high hand. But the Egyptians pursued after them. So when it says they went out with a high hand, this was after God has smote all of the firstborn of Israel, all of the plagues and everything. So he made it known that he was the God of all gods. But the Egyptians had a change of heart. And in 14:9, it says, but the Egyptians pursued after them all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them, encamping by the sea beside Pihahiroth before Baal-zephon. And when Pharaoh grew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them, and they were sore afraid. And the children of Israel cried out unto Yahweh. And they said unto Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, have you taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore have you dealt thus with us to carry us from out of Egypt? In other words, have you just brought us out here to die? These people are coming after us. We got the sea in front of us, Pharaoh's behind us. We have nowhere to go, or so it seems. There is no escape. I just added that in there. Number 12, is not the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, leave us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. So let me tell you what's going on here. Just a little bit of a backstory before we get to the meat of this thing. So they were rescued, okay? God brought them out with a mighty strong arm. I mean, they were rejoicing and stuff. They took the spoils of Egypt. Even some of the Egyptians came with them, and they were called the mixed multitude. So the mixed multitude was with them, and God had given a command for all of them to worship him. If they were going to be amongst his people, the mixed multitude were supposed to also worship God the way that he required to be worshiped. But it turns out that this mixed multitude actually caused more issues, because they actually, helped create some of the murmurings and complaints that the children of Israel had over time. So this is just another extension of that. Because they had supposedly they had all the food they wanted or whatever. They were living good, but they were in bondage. They were slaves. They were making bricks every day. So they might have been eating all right, but they were in bondage. They were not free, which means that their minds were still enslaved, right? So God chose to take them a different way so that they wouldn't get discouraged, because this trip, a little side note, shouldn't have taken as long as it did. But God had some forethought for his people and said, I know that they just came out of bondage. I don't want to scare them with, some wars and fighting against folks or whatever. So I'm just going to take them this way, so that they can get used to being free, basically. So I'm going to go back to that. So they were complaining. They said, had it been better for us to stay with the Egyptians so they wouldn't die in the wilderness. And 14:13 says, and Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, all caps, which means Yahweh, which he will show to you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. All right. So not just, I'm just going to get rid of them for a time. He had plans to see them, for them to not ever see the Egyptians ever again. They would never be in pursuit of them again, because they were about to be completely destroyed. Verse 14, the Lord Yahweh shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. And Yahuwah said unto Yahweh said to Moses, when I say Yahuwah, that's what I learned about the jots and tittle. So it's still Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto Moses, wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel that they go forward, but lift thou up thy rod, the same rod that he gave him to stretch out over the Red Sea, or over the river. Stretch out thy hand over the sea and divide it, and the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. And I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them in their ignorance. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon all his hosts, and upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the Egyptians shall know I am Yahweh, when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the angel of God which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. And it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to the children of Israel, so that one came not near the other all night. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and Yahweh caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went unto the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses, all 600 of his horses and his chariots and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watch, Yahweh looked into the house of the Egyptians through the pillar of the fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians. So he caused, the confusion was caused amongst the host of the Egyptian, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drove them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for Yahweh fighteth for them against the Egyptians. And Yahweh said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand over the sea, that the waters may come again upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to his strength. When the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it, and Yahweh overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea, and the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the hosts of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. They remained not so much as one of them. But the children of Israel walked on dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. Thus Yahweh saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore. And Israel saw that great work which Yahweh did upon the Egyptians, and the people feared Yahweh and believed Yahweh and his servant Moses. So today's Fear Not is a reminder of the great works that our Father, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has done on behalf of his children, on behalf of those that believe, on the behalf of his chosen people. Fear not. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. See the salvation of Yahweh. Look and see. When it seems like you may be closed in on every side, like you are backed into a corner, stand still. Now, that does not mean be silent. I just want to make that clear. It doesn't mean be silent. Stand on the truth, stand on the word, and see the salvation of Yahweh. See the salvation of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. See the salvation of the God of all gods. See the salvation of the judge of all judges. See the salvation of the King of all kings. See the salvation of the Lord of all lords. Wherever you're at right now, in your life, if you feel like you are being closed in on every side, stand still, stand in truth, stand on the word, and see the salvation of the Lord. He will fight for you. He will fight for you. And the Egyptians that you see today, the enemies that you see today, you shall see no more. And they will have an honor and a reverence and a respect for the God that you serve when they see how he has fought on your behalf and how he has rescued you and brought you out. Stand still and see the salvation of Yahweh. I hope that you enjoyed today's 365 days of fear not. Again, we came out of Exodus 14 and 13. Okay. And this was the God, Yahweh, saying, fear not. Well, Moses told the people to fear not, but Yahweh moved on their behalf and he totally annihilated those Egyptians so that the children of Israel would not have to worry about them anymore. All right, so I love you. I will see you all tomorrow at 6:45 as usual. And we will go into another scripture of 365 days of fear not. God bless you, keep you, make his face to shine upon you, be gracious to you, lift up his countenance upon you, and give you peace. See you tomorrow. God bless.